Welcome back. Welcome back to the Dutch and Denver podcast. I am Dutch. I am in and around Denver, and it's podcast time. Uh, was I late? I don't know. I might have been late, but we're here now. What was the last podcast? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm here now. It's time to do podcasts and talk about some stuff. Um, so far, probably gonna be a little short. Super sports heavy. And a little bit of politics, but the politics are, all the same, but super sports heavy. Uh, what should we start with? Like story of the week or the year? Look at the Buffs, baby. The Colorado Buffaloes, man, they're playing pretty good. Um, I'm with Dion when he says we haven't played our best game yet because I don't think they've played a complete game yet. We had great offensive games, great defensive games, and they're always messed up by like great defense, bad offense, bad defense, penalties, special teams, things like that. If they could play a complete game, man, I'd put them up against almost anyone. Maybe not Georgia, because I don't care how good your defense is or your offensive line is. Georgia's defensive guys are mean. I mean, real fucking mean. And Shador might die. But that'll be for the college football playoff, which, as I understood it, is if the Buffs win out, and including the Big 12 championship, we're in the playoff. Now, what I saw today with Boise State in there is that the NCAA is going to fuck us somehow and have just the highest ranked conference championship champion makes it in the top four. So if fucking Boise State is ranked higher than the Buffs and they win the Mountain West, they're in on a bye. No, man, put the winner of the Big 10, the winner of the Big 12, the winner of the SEC, and the winner of the ACC. Those are the top four seeds. If that's not how it's set up, they have fucked this up once again. I don't know what's so hard to get the college football playoff right. I don't know why Ohio State's still number two. They suck. They don't play anyone. And when they do play, they lose. I hope Illinois or Illinois, yeah, Illinois fucks them this weekend. I'm putting a mortgage bet on Illinois. But whatever, the Buffs are rolling, man. I think they beat Kansas, and I think they beat Okie Light. Okay, and I think they win the Big 12. And if they're not in the college football playoff, it is a rigged system, and it's fucked up, and you shouldn't take any stock in any of it. I don't think you should now. Oh, Ohio State being two is a joke. They are fucking losers. Um, but the Buffs are awesome. Let's talk about Heisman. Travis Hunter is the Heisman winner already. Even if he got hurt or didn't play the rest of the season, doesn't have to be of injury, just decide not to play. He wins the Heisman. The guy is the best corner in college football. Arguably the best receiver and plays both ways. I mean, he plays every single offensive, defensive snap. There's nobody better. If he's not the Heisman winner again, it's fucking rigged, and I'll riot. Um, let's see. BYU went down, which was nice, but not as nice because I didn't realize that it's just the highest ranked conference champion. What conference is going to use? Highest ranked fucking Mountain West whack? No, man, the Power Four. Since the Pac 12 doesn't really exist anymore. But what the fuck? This is why I drink and don't sleep, and what a mess. All right, but yeah, Buffs are in it, man. If they're not, if they win out and they're not in the playoffs, I'll riot. It might be a one-man riot, but I'll riot. I still Shador has not so much, but it's a lot to work on. When you're under pressure, move up, not back, nerd. You're not fast enough to not take a 35-yard sack. Stupid fucking penalties, though. Other than that, offense, great. Love it. Defense, shockingly fucking good. Let's go, baby. All right, we'll stick with football for a minute. The Broncos. The Donkeys routed Atlanta. I mean, kicked the shit out of them. It was great. I loved it. I'm not as high on the win as everyone else. Bo Nix is not rookie of the year yet. He can be, but he's not yet. Also, we are. How the fuck do I find our? I think we're like 5-5, right? 6-5. I mean, we're not like powerhouses of the NFL. Okay, we've beaten the shittiest teams that the NFC East has to offer. We've also got our butt kicks when we shouldn't have. We should have beat the Chefs, but kicking the right side of our line, terrible, gross. All right, Broncos. How come it? Geez, I have to do the math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. All right, we're 6-5. Going into the Raiders. Am I more confident than I was at the beginning of the season? Yes. Do I think we're a playoff team? Let's see. Raiders will win that. God, Browns, I hope we win that. Colts, I'm not sure. Chargers lost. Bungles win. Chiefs. God, I hope I fucking win. So let's see. We got 2 more wins. 3 more wins. This will be 9 and 8. Yeah. I don't know, man. Is that enough to get us in? Maybe. I hope so. But I want us to go far if we don't. Also, though, let's talk about a couple things. Bo Nix did very well. He played very good on Sunday. The Ravens are missing their entire defense. Okay? So let's not get too excited about what's happening here. Okay? If the Broncos win out, Super Bowl. I don't think we're going to win out. Well, maybe. If we win out, we're Super Bowl winners. Let's do it. I think we run the playoffs and we could do this. But Bo Nix did some dumb things and some really good things. So I'm not like, he's not our franchise quarterback yet. We're still 6-5. Okay, let's not be too crazy. But yes, Sunday, great win against an absolutely decimated fucking Ravens team. I mean, again, let's be realistic. And, talk about finding a way to win. Couldn't do it against the Chiefs. Couldn't do it against Chargers. And the first 2 games of the season will, woes. And the Ravens kicked the shit out of us. But the Steelers beat the Ravens, and I think we could beat the Steelers at home, not in Pittsburgh. Tomlin can play rookie quarterbacks for some reason. I don't get it. Again, good win for the Broncos, but this was not like a defining win. Bo Nix, rookie of the year, franchise quarterback, all that. No, man. And Pat Surtain, I'm not sold on him. I'm sorry. And people are like, Dutch, you're wrong, but pro football, fuck pro football talk. Those are a bunch of nerds who, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Haven't watched sports that long. They're younger than I am, and they're analytic, and it's just not there. It's like they're the same nerds that film themselves watching football games, which I hate to harp on that again, but dude, why are we doing that? Who films themselves watching their team or any other team? I know Barstool does it because they have a multitude of idiots that follow them and think it's awesome, or I don't know. But even like the internet hookers or, like film themselves watching the Chiefs. Well, or the Bills or whoever won in the last second this week. Did you do it at the time? Be like, think this is going to be a great play. I should film myself like an asshole. Or did you record the play and then watch it again and film yourself like a bigger asshole? Or did you film yourself in front of a blank TV after everything happened and just faked it all? Doesn't matter. It's fake. You're a loser. I think that's retarded in every sense of the word. Except for Barstool hired John Gruden, and I love it. I might have to start listening to whatever they do with him. I love Chucky. I hated him as a coach, just because he was not a Broncos coach. But I love Chucky. He's already telling Hooter stories, which, I mean, who doesn't love a good Hooter story? That's the best part of Chucky, is Hooter stories and his racist shit. I love it. It's great. Bring it back. Trump 2024. Okay. Moving on, and we'll come back to some of this stuff too, but let's talk about the Avalanche, man. I don't know where to go with the Avalanche, and I don't think they know where to go with themselves either. One night they're great, one night they're awful. Great, awful, 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 great, great, awful, awful, great, great, awful, awful. I don't get it. I think Jerry Bednar has lost confidence or control of this team. And hear me out. So I think that Jerry Bednar thinks that there was a certain expectation of this team this year. Like, don't lose a game, Stanley Cup champions. Okay? And then we had some injuries, which kind of messed that up, but I don't understand why we always have the biggest injuries. Actually, yes, I do. And I'll explain that in a minute. But I think Jerry Bednar thinks we think he should never lose a game this season. So when they do lose or they don't play well, he is making really poor decisions trying to make them play better or not lose. Like mixing up the lines every game, mid game, what? No, man, just give them time to work together. If you're like, we didn't score 10 goals in the first, time to shake it all up. I don't agree with that. I think that's what he's doing. Also, the goalie situation, we got to figure that out. Name a starting goalie. Forgiev is hurt, so Onanen is clearly in. We got some guy on the bench I've never even fucking heard of. I don't know why, not last game, because last game was last night, but the game before, he pulled Gorgiev or Onanen after 3 goals and put in Minor, who's never played in the world. I don't know. And he said it was in the way that Onanen gave up those 3 goals. Well, it was Sam Girard. He had a horrible game, and I fucking hate him. We know my hatred for him. I just feel like the Avs don't know what they're doing. And the only reason they're winning games is they have so much talent that despite not knowing what the fuck's going on, they still can score goals. So once they lock it down and be like, look, this is the first line, the second line, the third line, the fourth line, and this is the way it's going to stay, win, lose, or draw, and this is the starting goalie, this is the backup goalie, and this is the guy in the locker room, win, lose, or draw, I think we're going to have some issues. And we're getting people back. Natushin's back. I'm so happy about that. Drouin, all those guys are back. Landeskog is still not. and here's my conspiracy theory. Hear me out. Last night they played the Flyers, who had EJ on there, and he was being honored for his 1000th game. You know, he got the silver stick, the flower, all that shit. And Landeskog was there to present him with something, some like Avs painting, or I don't know. Now, was Landeskog there to present him with the painting because they were teammates for like 700 games and won a cup together and all that? Or was Landeskog there because he's traveling with the team for this 4-game road trip and he's going to play? I think he's going to play. I think he's ready to play. And if he's not, get fucking rid of him. It's been 2 years. I'm done with this shit. Clear the roster. Get somebody else. Put that C on who? We're gonna put it on McKinnon. I would vote put it on Rantanen, man. The guy's got 2 hat tricks this year. There's people that don't get 1, 2 hat tricks in their career. He's got 2 this year. But no, obviously it goes to Makar or McKinnon. But let's get a captain. We don't have a captain, if you guys haven't noticed. We haven't had one in 2 years. He's on the bench. He's not even on the bench. He's in the box or at home watching. But I want to know if he's on the trip for the 1,000 games or if he's on the trip because he's going to play. And the NHL will never tell us that. So, who knows? All right, we're going to talk a little bit of basketball for a second, just because there's a couple things going on with the Nuggets and the rest of basketball. First of all, it's an in-season tournament. That's the dumbest goddamn thing in the world. I don't know what the point of it is. I do not care. The courts look like shit. It's stupid, and if you're a fan of it, you're a moron. Now, the Nuggets. Their coach, and I can't think of his name right now, missed a game or two because his daughter was like in the state volleyball championship or something like that. And Joker has missed 2 or 3 games, and I think 3 is tonight because he had a baby. I'm torn here, okay? Because the Nuggets have lost without Joker. And I haven't watched because I've had to take nights off of staying up till fucking midnight watching sports because I got to do the Avs and football and college football pros and the Avs. And I don't have time for the Nuggets right now. Sorry. I got to sleep and go fishing sometimes. But I guess the Nuggets are not doing well without Malone is the head coach. And he took off because of his daughter's volleyball or something. And Joker's off because he had a kid. Now, like I say, I'm torn on this. That part of me is like, yeah, I mean, a kid's a pretty important thing. If you miss a couple games, okay. And even your older kids, if you miss a couple games or a game or two to go watch, then play volleyball, okay. But then the other part of me is you're an NBA team. Like, you're at the highest fucking level. There is no reason other than injury or ungodly sickness for you to miss a game. I guess if your dad died or real close family member, I don't know. That's where I'm stuck. Like, if you're an NBA championship contender, there's no excuse other than unable to perform due to injury. In my opinion. If you're a loser team like the Lakers, shout out to Higgins, Yeah, miss all the games you want because fuck you guys. You're never going to make it anywhere. You're losers. Doesn't matter if you're here or there. You might win the in season cup or whatever the fuck it is, but nobody cares. Also, the degree of the family. Having a kid, pretty important. But is it 3 games important? And also, do they not tell you how long it takes to make a kid in Serbia? Like, you can't plan this out and be like, hey, let's have the baby born when I'm not playing basketball. Like, do some math, joke. And I mean, I know if you can or you had a slip up or something like that, I get it. Also, this is his second kid, maybe third, I don't know. But I know he's already got one, so this isn't the first. I don't know, man. Is a second or a third kid being born really worth missing NBA games for? Definitely not going to see your daughter play volleyball. Sorry, man. That ain't it. Preseason, 1 or 2 in. No. You're better than this. Malone, I disagree with. She's got to understand your daddy's an NBA coach of a championship caliber team. Fuck, I'd miss the birth of my kids. It was during like a college football game or some shit I want to watch. Like I'd bring it to the delivery room or whatever, my little laptop or iPad, or I'd put it up on the TV. But I mean, I'd miss that. I'm just a drunk guy who watches sports. Okay, I don't have a pivotal role in the team. So, like I said, part of me is like, yeah, family first, but part of me is also like championship first. And I'm leaning towards championship first. 1 game I'm good with in the NBA. Because you play 82 of them or some shit. 1 game in baseball, I'll give you 3 or 4, man. Hockey, 1, maybe 2. Basketball, 1, maybe 3. No. Sorry. And if you're a coach, none. Especially older kids. Volleyball. I don't know how you couldn't make it work that you could coach and do it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's where I stand on that. So, boo on the Nuggets a little bit, but no, boo on the Nuggets a little bit. All right. How long? All right. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be a short one. Okay. So, let's talk about some of the Trump appointments and the clear Trump derangement syndrome that is still going on. You guys know Trump is not president yet, right? Like he is president elect. He might be doing some backdoor dealing and things like that, but things are not happening now because of Trump. Some things are stock market, gas, shit like that. People are like, oh, the president doesn't control gas. Well, not directly, but kind of directly because gas is futures, man. So yeah, now that Trump is elected president elect, the stock market is doing better, and because people have a brighter outlook on the future. Clearly. Some of his cabinet appointments, most of them I don't really care about because I'm not. I do care about them, but I don't think they're worth talking about right now. Like Matt Gaetz, I think he's a sacrificial lamb. Like Trump's gonna be like, all right, man, like shoot one of them down, but give me the rest of them. And Gaetz will be the one that, or Trump's like, hey, dude, he's just super loyal, we'll jam them all through. Doesn't really matter. The one that is striking me as odd, and not even, no, it's not odd. The appointment isn't odd, but the outrage and the also the like good pick on both sides is RFK for health. And I don't know if he's been named for it, but there's been rumors about it. Okay. Let's jump into this a little bit. Let's start with vaccines. We need to differentiate between vaccines and shots. Okay? Immunizations and shots. And when I mean that, I mean like the polio vaccine and the flu shot. Those are different. It's not the flu vaccine. Okay? Or the measles vaccine and the COVID shot. Those are different. Vaccines, to my knowledge, do not cause fucking autism. Okay? And if you don't vaccinate your kid against actual vaccines like polio, measles, I think MMR is, measles is included in that, whatever. But the basic shit that I had, 40 years ago, you're a fucking idiot. I don't care what you're a pediatrician or you believe. There's a reason we don't have polio, and that's because the vaccine works. And there's a reason we don't have measles, and that's because that vaccine works. So, yes, give your kid that. Now, the COVID shot, do not give your kid that. That is unproven, made up malarkey by the left. Okay? That's not a vaccine, that's a shot. It's like the flu shot. They take, I don't know, the 5 to 10 most common strains of the flu, they make a shot for it, and they give it to you. And in theory, if you contract the 5 or 10 most popular influenza strains that year, it changes every year, you will not get influenza or you will not get it as bad. But if you get one of the ones they didn't plan for, you're fucked. Just like COVID. Actually, I think COVID is a little bit dumber. That there's no shot for that, and you're going to give it you're going to get it no matter what, because it is basically influenza. Yep, it kills people, but all those people had pre-existing conditions. No one died of COVID; they died with COVID. That's a big important thing. Okay, but a true vaccines that prevent these diseases, like polio, measles, do not cause autism. I'm sorry, they don't. That's what I believe, and I will stand by that. Give your kids that. People are like, oh, Dutch, I don't need to give my kids polio vaccine because there's no polio. That's because they all get the vaccine, you dumb shit. And if enough of you idiots quit doing that, it might come back. And then your kid's going to get it. Mine won't, because I'm not a moron and you bitch and whatever. Okay? But no, it does not cause autism, and they're vaccines for a reason, because they actually do stop you from getting fucking polio, which is important. And I think you get some hepatitis ones and shit like that. Those are all on board. Chickenpox, I don't know about. I know there's a vaccine for it. I had chickenpox. People are like, oh, Dutch, you might get shingles. I'm not going to get shingles. Okay. I'm confident in that. But if I do, I do. And but you've never, yeah, I've known people that have had shingles that has been the nerve shit that never goes fucking away. Okay. It's awful. But that's, very rare. I had chickenpox when I was a kid. So did my brother. He was fine. My brother actually got shingles on his face. He's fine now. I don't think he has any residual effects from that. Gramps got shingles and he had the nerve thing forever. And it was an absolute unmitigated disaster. I will say that unequivocally. But so yeah, if you want to get chickenpox shingle or chickenpox vaccine, go for it. If you want the shingles one, okay. Definitely get fucking polio, the hepatitis, and the MMR ones. Okay. Those work. That's why we don't have polio and measles anymore. Flu, COVID, those are not vaccines. Those are shots. And they're going to be like, hey, man, this is a broad spectrum. And if you get something outside the spectrum, I'm sorry, we tried. And I can't blame them for that. If you're old, get a flu. No one should get the COVID. Hopefully I don't get banned for that. But that's insane. That shit was just made up. That's RFK's thing about vaccines. Yeah, I don't agree with him on that. I don't agree with him on anything. And here's why. I don't think the government should tell you shit about your health or how you should eat. Now, if the government wants to regulate some food like the FDA, okay. And pharmaceuticals, the pharmaceuticals I'm real shitty about now because they let that COVID stuff go through, and I mean, nuts. But if you're getting health advice from the fucking government, I don't know, man. That just seems odd to me. I don't think the government should tell you what you can and can't eat. What about drugs? Yeah, the government can tell you you can't smoke fucking crack. That's very different. Okay, now if the government wants to provide not regulations, but like advice, they'd be like, hey man, you shouldn't, drink 30 gallons of liquor a day. I'm okay with that, but they shouldn't regulate it. They can say it's probably a bad idea to do this, but if I want to, I should be able to. So if RFK is or is going to be some health czar, I don't want them to. They can give recommendations, but there should be no rules about any of it. You know, there was a picture of them on the plane the other day, and they're all eating fucking McDonald's. I'm on board with that. I love a Big Mac, and McDonald's Coke is the best you've ever had. I don't care what you say. If you say anything differently, you're wrong. Like you may be able to get it at the Coke factory in Atlanta better, but McDonald's has the best Coke, okay? And the best Big Macs. Best, yeah, burgers. If we're going to say, like, if we're going to encompass burgers from all the fast food joints or any joints, the best burger is a Big Mac. And if you say differently, you're fucking crazy and you're wrong. So if, the government wants to say, hey, we recommend you don't eat 3 Big Macs a day, fine, they can recommend that. But if I want to eat 3 Big Macs a day, I damn well can. And if I want to drink 4 gallons of Coke, I damn well can. So RFK, I'm okay with if he wants to be the health guy and just give advice, no mandates. Like the vaccine stuff. Really, man, like you're a parent, you're in charge of your kid. If you don't want to vaccinate your kids, and again, we're talking actual vaccines, not dumb shit ones, but actual vaccines, if you do not want to get your kid vaccinated, you're a moron, but fine. That's your option. And yes, your kid will be excluded from the public sphere. But we have to, at a basis, sit down and have a real discussion the difference between a vaccine and a shot. Because the COVID shot is useless. It's completely fucking useless. You can still get COVID. You can still give it to me. It's completely fucking useless. The polio vaccine is not. If you have that, you don't get polio. That's how vaccines work. This is crazy to me that you guys don't get this. If you put sunscreen on, you do not get burned. Now, for a time, depending on what sunscreen you put on, but yeah, you're not going to get burned in 20 minutes. If you don't put it on and you baby oil up, you might get burned. Jesus, the amount of dumbassery is just insane here. And like, I'm going to shout out to, Nick Merckx, not shout out, but I'm going to call him out, man. He was like, my kid is not vaccinated for anything because my pediatrician and all this, and we've decided not to. Okay, well, you're wrong. And I love Nick Merckx, man. He stood up in front of all the streamers and was like, hey, man, I'm a Republican. I'm conservative. I'm not fucking around with this stuff. I'm not falling in line, being a little weirdo. But now you've gone too far. And you're like, I'm not vaccinating my kid. Get him a polio shot, you scumbag. And you know what? You're just going to get lucky enough that enough people are still giving their kids actual vaccines that your kid isn't going to get it because we have other responsible adults. But yeah, get your kids vaccines. Do not give them shots. Fuck. Idiots. All right. Let's talk about well, let me Let's talk about dumb stuff for a minute. Oh, about the McDonald's thing. So after the fight, before the fight, which did we talk about the fight? Oh, actually, we might get an hour out of this now because I am going to talk about the fight. All right, so Tyson fought Paul. A couple things. The two fights leading up to it were really good. We're not going to talk anymore about that. They're just great. I'm not a big chick fight person, but that one was even good too. The Tyson Paul fight was exactly what most of us thought it was going to be. A 60-year-old man fighting a 30-year-old. Absolutely ridiculous. Jake Paul's a little bitch, first of all. He's never fought anyone of any consequence. And that's it. 6-year-old Mike Tyson is nothing. I'm sorry. He's fucking 60. Okay, he lost that, absolutely. I think it was absolutely fixed. But it didn't need to be fixed because Jake Paul was going to win. I mean, 30 always beats 60. I'm sorry. That's the way that works. You fighting your grandpa, you're going to win. Netflix dropped. Man, I don't know if. Yeah, Netflix dropped the ball. I don't understand how you're not prepared for this. And what I mean by that is the buffering and the shitty picture. Okay, so full disclosure, I watched the two prelims and the whole thing off and on. My stuff never buffered. It just, the picture got really shitty and pixelated. People had buffering for 4 or 5 minutes. I do not understand, and someone explained it to me like I'm 5, why streaming services, and I'm going to even put games in this, cannot get this together. Streaming services. How many subscribers do you have? I have 100 subscribers, Dutch. Okay. When you have a big event like this, you better make damn sure all 100 subscribers can get what you've promised them. No buffering, no shitty picture. What does that take? Just make that happen. Like games. And when you release a new game, you know how many games you have sold. Okay? You know how many pre-orders you have. Make sure you have enough server space or bandwidth or whatever it is that makes it perform not like monkey shit. Make sure you have that and then some. Like, you got all the pre-orders, 40 people pre-ordered it. Assume another 40 people are just going to buy it that night and do it. Have enough fucking whatever to get 80 people on that night. And then make it 90. Error on the side of caution so we don't have a shitty experience. I don't get it. And I mean, can you go to Netflix and be like, hey man, I bought it that night. I gave you your $22 or whatever. It was a shitty experience. I want my money back. No fucking way. You have to go through your bank. It'll be a mess. It's not even worth it. And that's what Netflix, I think, was counting on. But that's shitty service. It's horrible. Games are horrible like that. How's Netflix going to do on their Christmas Day football games? I hope they get their shit together for that. I doubt it. Amazon Prime still has it. We're on 2 years and they still have shitty Thursday night football. The point is about the back to the picture. Fight night. I don't know if this was before or after, but there's a picture of Trump, Elon, RFK, Trump Jr., and or the in-law Trump and some dude. And they're all sitting on Trump 1, and they're all eating McDonald's. Okay? Trump's got a Big Mac and a fish fillet. Elon's got a quarter pounder and some nuggies. They all got fries. RFK's even got some stuff. And the kids got some shit. RFK's drinking a full strength Coke, which I love. There's the picture. Now, the idiot David Hogg, you remember that kid who was involved in one of the shootings and has now made it his life mission to be a cuck bitch for the Democrats with that Sisson? He responds to that picture, "Where's JD?" Now, some of you might think that's innocent enough. But this is what I'm talking about, the complete dumbassery of people. And this kid was allowed to vote. I'll tell you where JD was. Not on the plane. And do you know why? Have you ever seen Kamala and Biden on the plane together? Flying places? Nah. Did you ever see Obama and Biden? Nah. You ever see Trump and Pence? Nah. You ever see any of them? No. And here's why. You fucking retard. Because if something catastrophic happens, even to President-elect and Vice President-elect, if something catastrophic happened to Trump Force One, we don't want to take the VP with them. You fucking retard. You know, Biden and Obama didn't fly together because if, God forbid, you know, and I truly mean this, if God forbid Obama's plane went down, I mean, I don't ever want the president of the United States to go that way. But we can't lose two top officials on the same bird. That's why Secretary of State, Speaker of the House, they don't all get in one fucking death trap and fly together so we lose all of our heads of state in one fell swoop, you fucking retard. That's why JD isn't there. And the fact that you don't know that, which I honestly believe he doesn't know that, is appalling. But yeah, he gets a vote and all that shit. Okay, moving on to other dumb shit on the internet. Whores. Not only whores, but internet whores. Can we talk about OnlyFans girls just for a little bit? So, on the Twitter, there's the For You page and there's the following page. And my following page is not anywhere close to my For You page. And I think the For You page, like Shay and everybody says, is a radicalization page. I don't believe it's really what you look at or click. Maybe if you are looking, if you're scrolling through Twitter and you have to stop on something, set your phone down and take a piss, you're fucked now. Because whatever you stopped on accidentally is your new For You. It's where it radicalizes you. You also get a bunch of crazy shit on there. Since Elon took over, it is a lot of ads, which I'm not happy with, but I get it. Because, I mean, Facebook is all ads. You guys got to make money, so I guess pay the $8 or don't complain about it. But let's talk about the OF girls for just a second. I don't fault them for making money. Okay. But no actual man wants that. No self-respecting man wants that. And it's a giant thirst trap. And if you pay for that, that's awesome. Yeah, great. It's getting fucking annoying now. They are all the same. They just glob on to a trend like the Democrats and they just roll with it. And it's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And I'm honestly at the point, like, because we've talked about this. Have we? Or have I just talked about it with the Gooses and the Xbox nerds? I'm ready to get married. Okay. So that's the goal. Short and sweet. We probably get into that later, but we won't now. But I don't want any of that damaged goods ever. That'll be like the. Also, if you guys have any dating advice, Send it my way. I would love it. But that'll be like question number one. Have you ever or no? Then I'm out. That shit is just, and I get it. Like, you like making millions of dollars a year showing your tits on the internet, but you're going to be alone forever or with a loser. Okay. That's just how it's going to work. So if being a millionaire married to a cuck bitch is cool with you, awesome. More power to you, man. That's not for me, though. It's just the stupidity of it is what is getting me. And it's not even OnlyFans. It's just girls in general on the internet. Like, I know, let's, for instance, on the Twitter, I know you, and I'm just going to use you as a broad term. I know what state you live in. And this is not meant to be creepy. This is just like a broad generalization. I know all this. I know what you pretend to be. And I know, like, when the team you fake like is aired in your state, because, you know, for the Broncos, we're going to use the Broncos as an example. The Broncos have on Sunday completed their 11th game. And for the first 10, I didn't hear anything from you on Twitter or see it. But all of a sudden, since the team they were playing was near you and you got to watch the game, you're now all spunky, hunky dory for the Broncos. It's fake. It's fake for engagement. And that's what irritates me, man. Like, I know you're a mess. You're 40 years old on Twitter, you know, farming engagement. But then you pretend not to. And that's what irritates me. Like, just go all out. If you're going to be a whore on the internet, do it. Make your money, die alone. If you're going to be an idiot on the internet, do that. God, you have Twitter. Look at my tweets. It's not the same. I don't know. It just, I don't know where I'm going with this. It just fucking baffles me. And the amount of people that are just engaging in this shit is insane to me. All right. Let's see if we have, I've screenshotted a couple of, tweeters and stuff like that let me find them and then we can maybe discuss them. But I'm also probably gonna hop off and go play the old Xboxio. No, I didn't screenshot any of these things apparently. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. But yeah, just don't be a fake fuck on the internet. Like, we know. We know. If you're gonna be a whore, go be a whore. Make your millions. And also, guys, come on. Can't be this stupid. Porn is free. Okay? There are many free porn sites. Quit paying for OnlyFans stuff. Let's take this shit down. But if you really want to, keep paying for it, because that's capitalism. I love it. Just don't be a non-OnlyFans whore idiot on the internet. Okay? Quit tweeting for attention. I know you need it. And I know you need it, but that's not real life. Do all your good shit in silence. Well, share with your friends and family, but not people on the internet. Unless you have a podcast that goes by the name Dutch and Denver Podcast, and then share that with everyone on the internet, and everyone on the internet should share it with all the people that they know and their friends and family, and make us famous. That I'm okay with. That being said, though, I appreciate everyone who listened tonight, who listens later. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody, retweet it, share it, comment, hate, do whatever you got to do. Just make us famous or make me famous. Fuck the rest of you guys. And we'll go from there, man. Again, I appreciate it all. Until next time, bye.